Hey, welcome to Sundays with PP, short weekly resets to help you enjoy youth, know yourself, and get ready for a future that's changing fast. All right, I have a test for you. Think of the last thing that wrecked your peace this week, and now answer a question. Was it something that you could actually control, or was it something that you were just carrying because you didn't know how to put it down? I think that most of your anxiety isn't coming from how much you care, it's coming from where you're standing. Well, what does that mean? All right, so you're not anxious because you care too much. You're anxious because you're trying to control what was never yours to hold. And you've never drawn the line that tells you where you end. So, 2,000 years ago, a former slave named Epictetus opened his handbook with one sentence that could rewrite your whole week. Some things are up to us, and some things are not. All right. So, what's up to you? Well, your judgments, your effort, your attention, your response, your character. And what's not up to you? Other people's opinions, outcomes, your reputation, the algorithm, the weather, who stays and who leaves. Here's the move, okay? Take out a sheet of paper, draw two columns, or do it in your head. Preferably, you're writing this down. All right, so everything that's outside the within my control column is sand. Everything inside it is rock. Now, I don't know why you would draw two columns and say what's on the inside and what's on the outside. It's either the left or the right. So maybe draw a circle. And whatever is outside the circle is sand. Whatever is inside is rock. So most people spend their whole day pouring their piece into the sand column or outside of the circle and then wonder why they feel like they're sinking. You don't have an anxiety problem as much as a location problem. You're standing in the wrong column. And my guess is that you've taught yourself to only focus on what's wrong. The good news is that you can teach yourself out of it. Marcus Aurelius, he ran an empire and still wrote this to himself. What he wrote was, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you find strength." He called the inner life the inner citadel, a fortress that circumstances cannot breach or break into unless you open the gate yourself. And here's the part nobody tells you: most of us are guarding the wrong gate. We build walls around our reputation and leave the door of our identity wide open to every opinion that walks by. The citadel isn't your image. It's the part of you that stays standing when the image takes a hit. Look, people aren't going to like you. Get over it. It's one of the hardest things to get over, in your teens and even up through your early to late 20s, is your identity is so wrapped up in what other people think that sometimes I don't even think you identify it. You got to love who you are. Don't be dependent upon other people. Other people are going to 100% let you down, and they're going to 100% let you down because you're going to have expectations of those people that they're probably never going to meet. And it's not fair to them to put unsaid expectations of your desires on other people. So the citadel isn't your image, it's the part of you that stays standing when your image takes a hit. Now, here's a big difference, because this is where people get it wrong. We're talking about boundaries. Boundary is not a wall that keeps people out. Okay? That's not what proper boundaries are. A boundary is like a property line that says where you are, and where what you allow ends, and where other people begin and their opinions begin. A wall says you're not welcome here. A boundary says this is what I'm responsible for, and this is what I'm not. Jesus himself actually had this. He didn't heal every person in every crowd. He didn't answer every question. He let no one's agenda, not even people who loved him, pull him off his purpose. I mean, remember when he talked about how certain things were going to happen and Peter said, no, no. And Jesus said, get behind me, Satan. I mean, that's a boundary if I ever heard one before. You know, he was fully present, but he was fully boundaried at the same time. That combination is the goal. It's not cold. It's not walled off. It's clear. Zunzi, probably not pronouncing that right, taught that character is built by sustained, disciplined practice against a difficult default. And that practice is squarely within your control, even when the world's response to it is not. So the discipline is yours. The applause is not. Stop grading yourself on the applause. Nobody watches these videos, but I'm doing them anyway because I'm not interested in the applause. I feel like I have important things that I want to say and that I feel like needs to get out. It's good information for me, and I think it's going to be good information for somebody else. That's why I do this. Paul, an apostle that writes in the New Testament, asks the question that sits under all of this. Am I trying to win the approval of people or of God? Because people pleasing and boundary keeping cannot live in the same body. So whoever you're trying to please is who's actually holding the pen of your life. You are the author of your own life, nobody else. And if you're seeking approval of others, then they're writing your story for you. That might seem comforting, but after a while, when you feel lost and abandoned, it's not going to be good. So the line that sets you free is the one that you draw between their approval and your integrity. Now listen, God loves you, okay? God loves you and so do I. So I just want you to remember that you're not anxious because you care too much. You're anxious because you're trying to control what was never yours to hold or control. And you've never drawn the line that tells you where your responsibility ends. So recognize those things and begin to learn where your boundaries are, what you're allowing to take hold of your mind, and what you can actually control. Just let the rest go. So as always, God loves you. So do I. I have a Patreon account. The link is below. When I get 10 or more people, we'll start doing some life coaching in there. And then once I get my clinical mental health license, then that'll be another avenue that I can do some one-on-one counseling sessions in the future. So like I've said before, God loves you, so do I. And try your best to guard your heart, discipline your mind, and live the best life that you can.